we're going to win. And we're going to win a championship. Otherwise, why are we doing it?
Cowboys Nation, was good, was good. Welcome back to Star Chasers. As you guys know, it's your girl Cravin Cowboys. Thank you guys for joining us. And as always, I got my sis Stargazer in the building. Please tell me how you feel tonight, sis. How you feeling tonight?
Feeling good, feeling great. Shout out to everybody in the chat. JV and Swain was the first one in here. Decon's filthy. Just shout out to all of you guys. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are our loyal subscribers and followers. So we really appreciate you guys' support. But y'all know when y'all come in to please like the video, please share. And also please subscribe and please comment. We love the live comments, but also if you're watching on the playback, please comment below. We love to interact with you guys, even when, like I said, if you're watching on the playback. So we're excited. It's football's here, guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's been here because obviously we went through the preseason and all that stuff, but we're back to actual NFL season, starting tomorrow. So, it's time to get into it. No, it's sad because we don't have Micah. I will be removing him from our overlay, but we don't have
Right.
Micah. You know what I'm saying? And that's just such an unfortunate situation. But I feel like I done talked to that. I done talked about it ad nauseum. But we have not talked about it on the show. So we can kind of just, spend a couple minutes, talking about it and then just move on to Philly. I don't want to spend too much time on it.
No, honestly, we really don't. I mean, honestly, it's just even after a few days, even really the next day, even before we do get into it, shout out to everybody in the chat coming through. Like sis said, like Swain said, like he said, the first thing he said, can't miss shows. Shout out to Botch, the GOAT, and shout out to him and Brian Barnes getting their show together, Crown Global Media together. I'm happy to see that. Can't wait to watch their first show. Haven't had a chance to really get around to do it just yet, but I'm really glad like what they're doing. And like I said, shout out to Botch and everybody coming through. But like sis said, even having a few days to process it, not over it, but like the guys in the locker room seem to be doing. You have to move past it. I even had to tell myself, talking to my, with my dad about it, even just with him, kind of like therapy. Just talking about it with each other, just saying like, hey, like we still got to support our guys. We still have a full, 53-man roster just come out, and guys that we were excited about it even before that we, even find out the news that, and I'm still excited for. So I'm excited to see what we can do going forward. Shout out to Micah, getting his deal done and being able to go, to find a team that wants him. And I'm happy for him, like to be able to go somewhere where you are appreciated, where you don't have to go through the BS, with your boss, quote unquote. Because I know going to work, sometimes, it can be easier with your, going to work and not having to deal with, your boss on your back or on your neck, trying to, if you will kind of manage everything, micromanage. So it's just, I'm sure it's a sigh of relief off his head, and maybe a sigh of relief, it could be a sigh of relief for some of the guys in the locker room. You never know, because it seems like the media is trying to sound one way. I know how Jerry wanted to make it sound, but then, Dak was talking about his message to the guys in the room. Like, I didn't even have to speak to the guys. Hey, I didn't have to give some big speech or try to get them to, get over some hump. Like, hey, it's part of the business. We're still sharing messages with Micah. He was a leader in the room, and I don't, at least from listening to Dak's presser or his interview, I really don't feel like I got the vibe of them saying the locker room turn or the locker room has to get over this big emotional hurdle. A couple of days before the game. Granted, like Dak said, it would have been a distraction, but like you said, both parties came to, a meeting in the minds, if you will. So I'm glad that, this was able to be worked out, for both sides to be able to come, for it to come to an end really before the season started.
Yes, sis. I mean, I'm with you. I think that, I'll say it right now, is fuck David Mugoleta. Fuck him. I don't fuck with him, but I am happy for Micah. I am happy that, he did get paid. He deserved to be the highest paid non-quarterback. So it's unfortunate, how the situation. It's just so unfortunate how the situation, came about. I think that it just got personal. Hey, Nisi, glad to see you. But I think it just got personal on both sides. Yeah. I think it was going to be very difficult to prepare the relationship. I don't think that the relationship can honestly get repaired through an agent. I think that if the relationship was going to get repaired, Micah and Jerry were going to have a talk man-to-man, face-to-face. I don't think that ever happened after the trade request. Mm-hmm. Really after Micah got to camp. I know there was rumors that they had a talk, but it was never confirmed. Yeah. And I just think that if Micah has a different agent, I think he stays in Dallas. I think there was just a lot of hostile acts that Micah did. Some by David, like the trade, that was coached by David, like the trade request. But some was just, Angie, thank you so much. Angie sent me a cash app. I appreciate that, Angie. Thank you guys, everybody, for your support. If you send me a cash app, it should pop up on my screen, so I'll be able to shout you out. But I think that also Micah, he let his emotions get in the way. Jerry let the emotions. Yeah. So it was just a situation where it just was not going to work out. And I think that Jerry felt offended by a lot of things. He felt disrespected by a lot of things that Micah did. I think ultimately Micah was just trying to get paid and he didn't want to miss camp. So he was trying to put pressure on Jerry. Yes. Obviously that pressure backfired and, now he's a Packer. So, it's just unfortunate, but we do have to move on. We don't want to, but we do have to move on because we got a game tomorrow. Yes. And, it's time to lock in, We do still have a lot of talent on this team. We did add Kenny Clark, who significantly upgraded our defensive line, which has been a weak. Our defensive line, like our interior defensive line, has been a weakness for I don't know how long. Even when we added Hankins, it's like Hankins wasn't like all world or nothing like that. So
exactly. And even Joseph, they attacking the problem with older guys or
older guys or guys that are like never pro. They're never going to be Pro Bowl or all Pro caliber. So
not to cut you off, but even to this day, Solomon Thomas, a guy who's been, as of recent, a journeyman, and even,
he's a journeyman.
A 3-tech, trying to solve that problem with a guy who's essentially, almost playing out of position or trying to, put band-aids on the problem, even still, drafting a rookie to try to solve the problem, continuing to believe in Mozzie, and like you said, I'm glad they decided to hopefully add a decent piece to the defensive line, because like you said, we have great, exterior pressure guys who can bring pressure to the pocket, pressure the quarterback, and that, that definitely should have been a telltale sign throughout the offseason. And we even talked about it last week, adding Peyton Turner to IR to bring back later in the season. It's kind of like they were making moves to really solidify that outside spot, and even bringing back Isaiah Land, a guy who we were raving about.
Right. They were just hoarding edges. So the writing was definitely on the wall with this Michael situation. I couldn't understand, like, why do we continue to add all these edges? We haven't added no DTs, but then you saw trade came down the pipeline. And I like, hey, Big Time, glad to see you, Big Time.
Hey, Big Time.
Yeah, the Big Time Show. Really, really love his content. You guys check him out on YouTube.
Yes, and also please check out that X. Morning ride. Like that morning ride. I be watching you, Big Time, that morning ride, because I be riding to work too. You feel me? So I definitely feel you on that ride part. But like, he be spitting that knowledge early in the morning, just giving you that perfect, like it's a morning coffee. Give you that perfect morning Cowboys, a Cowboys edition, if you will. But shout out to Big Time.
Shout out to you, Big Time. But yeah, it was just, and Angie, I liked Hankins too. I'm just saying Hankins wasn't all world. That's all I'm saying. I liked Hankins. I like him too, but
and he got a little beat up in the season. He got a little beat up.
He got beat up in the season, and he wasn't very good that playoff game, because remember, he was coming straight off I think he sprained his ankle or something. So I think it's good now that we have Kenny Clark, which although Kenny Clark, according to these stats, he had a down year. But I mean, looking at his film, I mean, he had a down year because he played on his foot. He had bone spurs and a broken toe or a broken something. So he had to play through that all season. But he's good now. He's healthy, and he just was a Pro Bowler in 2023. So
he's made Pro Bowl pretty much every other year. So
he's definitely of that ilk and of that caliber. I mean, I hope that he can stay healthy. But even last year, when he wasn't healthy, I still saw him play very well against the Lions. I forgot. I watched like 3 games of his, and he played very well. I know 2023 he tore our asses up, but he tore our O-line up, and when we played them in the playoffs, almost looked damn near unblockable. So it'll be interesting to see, Kenny Clark, because we just have not invested into that nose tackle position. Yes, we drafted Mozzie, but I'm saying, like, Mozzie, D tackle is a slow cook position. Yeah. So expecting Mozzie to come in and be an all-pro Pro Bowler was just never realistic. Was never going to happen. And now this takes the pressure off of Mozzie. This takes the pressure off of Jay Toia. Perrion Winfrey got hurt, but hopefully he'll be back in the season. It takes the pressure off of him. Yeah. And so now when you have a leader like that, now everybody can just play free. They don't have to play like I'm the end all be all. Like the pressure that was going to be on Mozzie this year to be perfect was going to be insane. Correct. So I'm really glad that the front office got somebody to come in here, help him, teach him, because he really haven't had, he had Hankins, but we want Mozzie to be better than Hankins. We drafted you in the first round, so we do want you to, if we can get you to a Pro Bowl or right under a Pro Bowl level, we want to max you out. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully him having a leader actually show him the way, he can be what we want him to be, because Kenny Clark really is perfect for this scheme. I mean, he played 3 tech, he plays 1 tech. He's a attack, get upfield, all this stuff. So all the stuff that the front office, that the coaching staff wants from their DTs, Kenny Clark can definitely do.
I'm down for all this. And just kind of a call back to Solomon Thomas. It kind of takes the pressure a little bit off him, and even Osa as well. Instead of having these guys kind of play versatile on both spots, they can kind of stay true to their positions, and also bringing, like you said, bringing a veteran and also a veteran leadership as for Kenny Clark. I think that kind of, like you said, elevates that room. But at the same time, it gives other guys across that line a chance to elevate at their own positions, and also to bring the young guys along in their own rooms, if you will. Osa can kind of focus on kind of trying to bring up the other 3 techs. Solomon Thomas can also do the same thing as well. And I think the young guys on the line can be able to kind of blossom in their own way. way, kind of show what they had to prove, but also not have that much pressure on them, and
Right.
another guy to follow, another staple guy, and they bring, a free agent, also a veteran free agent, not just a guy they kind of plug in, like they picked up a couple corners, but they're not necessarily, you're not going to be looked at as leaders in the room. I think Kenny Clark will be looked at more, and even coming in, he said, I'm going to give my best to this team. They're going to give my all. So, for him to be able to come in and be able to, to be able to hit the ground running, just a couple days from now, I think that shows him, his contribution to the team, and just his determination to be able to come in and say, I know you guys are kind of maybe in a sore spot, even just for, if it was for a few days, 24 hours, whatever it may be, because of the trade, you may have lost a staple piece, in the locker room on your team, but I want to be able to come in here and, hold my weight and hold my own, and also at the same time, hopefully be able to bring the young guys up, and also, the veterans as well, and hopefully everybody will be able to elevate their own game.
Facts. I agree with that. I think, the team needs leadership. It's clear that the front office wanted to rebuild, and this coaching staff wanted to rebuild leaders. That's why they brought in former captains. They brought in leaders, former leaders or whatever of their previous teams, because when you bring in that many leaders, or that's one of your criteria for bringing in free agents or drafting guys. Remember when they put out their report that they were looking for an offensive lineman leader, and we were like, what? That don't make no sense. Like, how would a rookie? But then, you see Tyler Booker. So it's just clear that they wanted to
standard. It's a different standard. It's like not just bringing in a free agent, but it's a different standard free agent. Like,
they wanted to change. They wanted to change the mentality. And the first way they did that is they want to bring guys that they already know have been accountable. They've been accountable in college, been leaders in college, or they've been accountable or leaders on their previous teams, or captains on their previous teams. And so they brought them in to change the culture. That's the buzzword for us, the culture. So brought them in there to change the culture. Now we'll see how it goes. Obviously you lost a critical piece in Micah Parsons. Regardless of what people thought about Micah, he was real well loved and respected. I'm not saying everybody in the locker room was best friends. I'm not saying everybody in the locker room loved this podcast, because probably not. Micah said a lot of stuff on that podcast, but at the same time, what's up, Chris? What's up, Mike? I was just wondering. I'm like, dang, Chris ain't been in our chat in a minute. Thank you so much, Chris, for popping in.
Appreciate
you. I agree, Angie. Leah Fowl, he's one of our up and coming leaders, like a Demarion Overshone. Just the style of play, I feel like
real
really
firecracker.
Right, really ignites fire into our guys. So but you lost somebody like Micah Parsons, and so now you're going to, it's time for other guys to step up and to lead, like guys like Dante Fowler, who they've talked about. Like, even though I did not like how he looked in preseason, I did really like Sam Williams' interview. I felt like his interview that he just did was very, very introspective, because he was like, hey man, like, I'm ready, but at the same time I'm calm. Like, I know I need to be calm so that I can stop getting these penalties. He was like, because when I'm revved up, that's when I start making mistakes and stuff. So I'm like, I'm glad that you are self-aware, of your past mistakes. And Sam, you've got all the talent in the world. The question is, are you gonna put it all together? Can you get to where you need to go mentally? So hopefully, Dak said he took that step. Dak been wearing his shirt and stuff all off season.
Right.
And Shotty said he took that step. So hopefully on the field, especially now, we're going to get to see it, because now without Micah here,
that part,
next man up,
right? Yes.
Donovan Nezaraku.
Yes, exactly.
Houston. Is that his name?
James Houston. Just like you said, since it really gives a lot of these guys, like, not necessarily, hate to say that they're in anyone's shadow, because Micah, stands in his own right, and also wants to put other guys along. So it's not like he treated himself as like, hey, you guys are, different than me, and he wanted to include all the guys. We took the guys on the trip. He was out there training, with some of the guys on the depth chart. So we definitely saw Micah as a leader in that respect. But just, I'm sure these guys will get this opportunity. Like, hey, now it can not only just not always hear, of course, I think for the first couple of games, maybe even this entire year could be, what's it going to be like without Micah? What's it going to look like without Micah? But I think as time goes along, we can, these guys are already kind of showing, what they can do in their own light. But I think, of course, without Micah here, I think these guys have even more of an opportunity, and I think they can kind of, stand in that success and say, hey, I'm doing it, with the number one, the proper opportunity, because he's no longer getting those reps. But at the same time, it's a fair opportunity because everyone is getting an opportunity to step up, not just because you're getting less reps because you're the second, third, fourth guy down on the depth chart. This really gives, and really maybe they didn't realize it throughout the offseason, because everyone had the impression that Michael's going to come back. He's going to come back. I'm only going to have this limited time for these reps. But now that, the slate is really essentially clean, really at the start of the season, it really, at least in my opinion, gives like a blank slate for all these guys to kind of turn up and, kind of play in their own right and say, hey, I did it this way. The coaches can look at, these guys in the depth chart. Maybe, of course, some guys will be further than us. We'll look at Donovan Ezeraku different than we'll look at a Peyton Turner or maybe even James Houston, for the time being. But I think at the end of the season, we'll be able to look at these guys at this particular position group and say that, these guys were able to do this and stand from beginning of the season to the end. Everyone had, a fair opportunity to show what they can do, despite, not having that excuse, if you will, of being in Micah's shadow or having limited reps because Micah Parsons was out there.
Right. So, I mean, a lot of these guys should feel motivated. And, when Dak spoke about the situation, because they were like, do you think these guys need uplifting and stuff like that? And I do think, shout out to Boss. Boss did a show where he was like, Dak needs to walk through the crowd, which means like you need to go and meet with the guys that were really close to Micah, like Osa, like Trey, like CD. I agree with that because what's up, Brandy?
Hey,
Got to see you. I agree with that because I do think that those guys, they're gonna do their best to be. They're professionals, and I think that's what Dak's mindset is probably like. We're professionals, like we're gonna be okay. But you have to know as well that it's different when you lose your best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. It hurts, and you can tell that Osa and CD are hurt. They're hurt. You know what I'm saying? So you do have to touch those guys and what's it? He needs to, just make sure that those guys are good as your leaders. You know what I'm saying? Or as your generals, if you will. So you know what I'm saying? So I think, Dak does need to do that. But I do think that, I did like what Dak said when he said that this situation with Micah makes it realistic. He said, hopefully it's a wake-up call to these guys. He was like, we're out here fighting for our lives, our livelihood, and anything can change in an instant. I think that's how Dak, and you got to know, like, Dak's background, what Dak has been through, Micah getting traded is nothing today. Dak has to see his best friend Zeke, who was everything to this franchise, be cut like a piece of trash. You know what I'm saying? Then he had to see Zeke come back where he thought he was going to do unfinished business and then get iced out of game plans. So Dak is just, and not to mention all the personal stuff that he's gone through. So Dak is like, I'm focused on Philly. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad this was resolved and I'm ready to move on. But but you got to understand, not everybody is at the same, that mental that Dak has, that mental fortitude, that warrior, not everybody's got that, Dak. Not everybody been through what you've been through. So you do have to make sure that you're like, hey man, I know Micah left and it's hard, bro, but we gotta fight through it. We gotta be strong. And I hope Dak has already done that, They didn't ask him, but I'm sure they've already had leadership and player meetings and all that type of stuff to kind of talk about this. I would assume so. But I do think that it's a lot of these guys. It's your time now. It's your time now. So what are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with this opportunity?
Facts. No, I definitely agree because, like you said, in Dak's interview, he kept it real. Like, hey, like we sent him messages and everything, but he was like, "Look, I'm glad it's done." Because even a couple of days from the game, the day before the game, you guys would be asking me questions about Micah, this, that, and the third, and he said, honestly, it would just be a distraction. So you'll say, I'm like you said, like I'm glad he was able to kind of stand in his own right, give his message to the team, but also at the same time, still remain who he is and be, be transparent at the same time and be like, hey, the guys are good. Like, our locker room is good. No matter how much you guys try to paint that the locker room is down or that, there's any kind of bad messages. Like, and even CD, they tried to trip him up and he was like, hey, I don't know anything about that. He didn't ruffle my feathers. Speaking of Micah Parsons, like I love that these guys are standing by their former teammate, but also their friend, and just letting it be known that, he's a leader. He tried to show that in his own right, and just at the end of the day, it's business. Sometimes these things can sometimes happen. So I'm glad. I'm just loving the transparency of our players, and really, I think it's not saying it's coming from the coaching staff, but I feel like they're feeling more. I feel like Shadi, at least in my opinion, I feel like from the beginning, Shadi's kind of been like an open book. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like I was looking at Shadi sideways last week because he was one of the main people saying, I feel confident Micah's gonna be there. We're gonna see him on the field,
Right.
and then next thing.
Sis cut out. Sis, you there? Okay, I think maybe her internet just sniped her, so she'll be coming back in. But yeah, guys. And to talk about it, oh, there she goes. She back. You back?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Can you hear me? I'm not sure why. This is the second time it went out too. I'm not sure why it's doing that.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Yes, sorry about that, but I forgot what I was talking about. But like I said, I love the transparency of the room. I feel like Shadi has always been, just a long story short, I feel he's always been an open book this entire off season, and I feel like it's allowing the guys to be, a little bit more transparent as well themselves, speaking to the facts, but also being, telling the media, hey, telling the media how they truly feel, but also just letting it be known, the truth, not necessarily trying to hide anything or even just trying to act like you're trying to be, hiding things or hiding from the fact or just trying to be elusive and things like that. I just feel like these guys just are able to feel true to themselves within the locker room to each other as true brothers, but also feeling, able to stand to the media and just kind of, stand really stand in their truth.
I agree with that, but I want to pivot to our captains were assigned, which are on. There was only supposed to be like 3 or 4, but there's 6. There's 2 defensive, 2 offensive, and 2 special teams. So the captains are Dak, CD, Osa, Donovan Wilson, CJ Goodwin, and I think Brandon Aubrey. I think that's who the other one is for special teams. So what are your thoughts on the captains, sis?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's out of left field for Donovan Wilson because I know he has tenure here and I know he's a veteran, but it's kind of out of left field. And I don't know if that is maybe coaching staff.
I mean, it was voted on by the players. That's what I'm shocked about. I was like, y'all voted Donovan Wilson.
And he doesn't. Not saying he doesn't say leader to me. But I feel like he's kind of like not quiet, but as I've always mentioned, we hardly even see him in media. So
a leader, a captain. I've never even seen Donovan really talk or lead. And then when you look at Osa, I like Osa. I love Osa, but Osa is not a leader at all. He does not have that at all. You know what I'm saying? Like he is like a. I'm a more so I lead with play or but when you talk about a guy's gonna lead and galvanize people and lead meetings and go the extra mile, like he was being led by Micah. So I get why the guys voted for him because he is. I mean, he's who got the bag. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why I really think that's why the players voted for him and Dono because they're the only 2 that's really paid right now on the roster, I guess. I don't know, but I just feel like
it's a lot of young guys on the roster.
Right, it's a lot of young guys, and so I just feel like the young guys were just like, Well, we can't vote the new guys in because that's gonna feel weird. So we kind of have to,
Right,
have to
exactly.
vote for Osa. We kind of have to vote for this guy. Like CD and Dak make perfect sense. I mean,
Right.
if they wasn't captains, I'd be like, what the, you know. I think Tyler Smith
Right.
could have also been one, but um,
Yes. Or even Hooker. Like I would even think Hooker over Dono because I feel like I mean Hooker has a lot
Hooker
of
would have
energy. He's a
made
lot on his
way
side.
more sense. Malik
I mean,
Hooker
he
would have
has,
made way more sense. So Dono and
yeah.
I don't know what Dono gonna be doing because we know with Dono, unless we have him playing forward and not covering much, I'm not sure how he's gonna look in this
Right.
defense. Now, hopefully,
Right.
now that he's captain, Flus, you're gonna have to cover his mistakes because you can't have your captain out there getting targeted and torched like he was last year. So,
Right.
I mean,
Right. Well,
words cut
I
off
don't
for him.
know. I don't know, sis, because I think it was after a week. After a week last year that he got torched. The next week he was actually named captain. We were like, what the heck is going on for that week? So we're like, so now for him to be named the long-term captain, it's
I
kind
don't
of
know,
like,
man.
okay, that's why I'm thinking coaching staff or maybe
I feel like coaching staff should have stepped in with some of these captains because I don't know what's going on. It's like the players. I feel like the defensive players wanted to pick other people, but they picked Osa and Dono because I know they picked Osa because of the money. Dono, I don't know. I mean, maybe Dono is leading in the meetings. I don't know because it's like y'all picked him. Y'all had to have picked him for a reason, but Osa, I just don't see leader on him. Like even D-Law. D-Law wouldn't say the right things, but D-Law had energy and D-Law led off the field. He's the one who created Hot Boys and all that type of stuff.
Exactly.
Is Osa gonna be doing that?
Right.
I don't know. So I feel like he gonna be captain in name, but I feel like they're gonna be looking to Kenny Clark for leadership. They're gonna be looking to Kenneth Murray for leadership. That's how I feel. Like I don't think that they're gonna be looking. Right. It's like, yeah, you in name, but we not. Which is gonna cause some issues because now it's like, well, I'm the captain, but it's like, should you be the captain though? That's what we're asking. So I don't know about that. It's gonna be interesting to see how this all works out. Starting tomorrow. So.
Yeah, facts. And kind of speaking on that, I just kind of I had some notes just from listening to a couple of Shotty's and shout out to Angie earlier. I know you mentioned earlier about her donating through Cash App. She donated as well.
Thank you, Angie.
Really appreciate you. And I like what she said here too about Overshown possibly getting the captain spot when he comes back.
Oh yeah, if Overshown was healthy, I feel like he would have probably been voted. It's just that he's not healthy right now, so hard to lead when you can't get on the field. And just when you're not on the field.
Facts. I feel you on that. And just I love his presence even throughout the offseason. That definitely. And even Solomon. I mean, even Angie mentioning Solomon. I mean, he's like the guy that would take guys underneath his wing. He works closely with Dak, kind of the captain on the team. So it just Donovan being named is kind of out of left field. But like I said, I just took a couple notes that I could just kind of want to mention because I like that both. Speaking on the coaching staff, actually, I heard a couple of parallels through Shotty's press conference and also Clayton Adams speaking about not necessarily about the players not necessarily trying to go out and do have a bang out time week one, giving their all against the Eagles, saying I'm going to play this hard, do this, I'm not going to necessarily try to win the championship in week one. And I feel like there were different parallels. I feel like Shotty was kind of speaking to the team's success as a whole. And then I feel like Clayton Adams is speaking to each individual, just in my opinion, on each individual strength for their players. So I feel like, like Shotty was saying, the team you have to go out and win the championship week one. And then Clayton Adams kind of just talking about how, I think Todd also asked a question in the presser about, the team's identity and how you know what the team is good at in week one, when you really haven't played, and even now having played in preseason. And he's saying, how do you kind of find the identity? And even Clayton Adams, admitted that, identity can even change, either game to game or even late in the season. But saying that these guys, number one, have to possess the ability of being multiple. But at the same time, he says that just because you aren't good at something in week one, not necessarily a failure. You didn't necessarily not do something, right. You know what I'm saying? You still have time to be able to build. Still have time to be able to progress throughout the season. And even if you think that we are one thing, and you can still change up, you can still be strong in another, in another strategy, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, a strong run game, but also a strong pass game, because now we do have the weapons, but do you have, the necessarily great pass blocking to be able to, follow through on some of them plays. So I think the message was the same. I like that my point is, I like the coaching staff is that the message is the same, but at the same time, they're trying to reach their guys on different levels, trying to, get down to the players' levels, their mentality, but at the same time saying like, hey, you can still have a goal, to reach it in week one, and even as late as week, 15, week 16, when you're trying to, make that last bid, trying to get to the playoff run, that you can still not necessarily change your identity, but still be able to succeed in other ways against different teams down the line. So I feel like, going out week one against, especially a division rival, I think that's important for some of the players in the room to, like we mentioned, we have a lot of young guys on the roster. I think it's important for them to not have as much pressure going into
Yeah,
week one.
I agree with that. I think that, it's week one. You know what I'm saying? So you do have a lot of pressure. You want to win this game, but it's not the end all be all. And everybody knows you could start off hot, but it doesn't matter if you start off hot because you crumble. You know what I'm saying? What was that? The Eagles that crumbled. Yeah. What was that? The 2022 or 2023 Eagles, where they started off undefeated. They was like 11, 12 and 0. Mm-hmm. Then they crashed. I forgot what year that was, but the year that the Steelers was like undefeated, the year when the Cardinals was undefeated, and this was in the 2020, 2021, all in that area. So it's all about how you finish. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you want to start off hot, because you can kind of ride that momentum, but at the end of the day, it's more so about how you're performing the back half of the season compared to the front half of the season. And, as far as, Shotty, it's like, I'm watching you, Shotty, because when they talk about physicality, he was like, well, you don't have to just only run the ball. Like, you don't have to only run the ball and be physical. And it's like, okay, Shotty, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's because he's trying to show y'all, which we already knew, that, like, we're not just going to be a run the ball team, which we already knew that. But he's just trying to temper expectations. I do believe that Shotty is going to value the run, but I never thought that we were going to be no ground and pound team. I'm like, we got Dak, CD, Pickens, like, now you just paid Ferg $30 million, like, then you paid Turpin $18 million, like, you're going to play, you're going to pass the ball. But of course, you know that in order to win, in order to especially playoff football, you have to have a running game. And that's why if you put Angie's comment on the screen, trade for RB1, that's our new campaign. Trade for RB1. Because right now, when you look at your running back room, I can share my screen to look at this, but when you look at your running back room right now, it's not great. You know what I'm saying? Because you have Javonte Williams, who we have not seen at all. We hope. Somebody showed a clip of him when he was in North Carolina. I said, well, I hope he get back to that. I said, if he get back to that, I'll shut up. But until then, trade for RB1. But look, you only got Javonte Williams, then Miles Sanders, who we believe should have been cut. That's your running back too. A guy that we said should have been cut is your running back too. You have Jadon Blue as your running back 3, who's still hurt, coming off an injury. I don't even think he should be playing in week one at all. I don't think he should be playing. And then you got Phil Maffa, who's IR. So this is your running back room. Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, a guy who should have been cut, and Jadon Blue, a guy who's struggling with injury. So right now, you have a good offensive line. And, to speak to Angie's question, she asked me, am I concerned about our offensive line? I'm not concerned about our offensive line at all. I have zero concerns about our offensive line, because I know even if Tyler Guyton's not ready and he messes up, I'm confident in Nate Thomas to slide right on in. So I'm not, if Terrence still go down, I'm confident. And from what I saw in preseason of Nate Thomas, and I think that was Johnny Cornelius, I'm confident in both of them. I'm confident.
Right.
My confidence in the offensive line is probably through the roof. So if they don't perform well, I'm gonna be very disappointed because we put a lot of focus into our offensive line. Like we put so many resources. Then we got our offensive coordinator that is an offensive line coach. Like then we got Connor Riley, who is an offensive line guru. Like there's no reason for our offensive line to not perform well. But as far as our running back room, it's not it. It's not it. Yeah, Brenda, we should have kept Deuce. We should have kept Deuce. We should have kept Deuce. But we cut him. We cut him because Shotty said he just needed to change the scenery. So it's like, whatever, Shotty. We could have used him. But y'all didn't want to use him, so you cut him. So now we're stuck with the ghost of Javonte Williams and a washed Miles Sanders. So we're going to see how they perform tomorrow because there'll be no more hiding. They'll be out. They'll be out in front of everybody to see and observe. So, but yeah, y'all please be putting out that hashtag trade for RB1 because I believe there's been candidates. Jonathan Taylor from the Colts.
Right. Yeah, I saw you. Right, yeah, I saw your show that you did yesterday with Henny and that premiered I think today or yesterday with Henny and Landlord. That was some fire options. That was Kamara. I mean, even a third. I know he had some down years, but maybe off injury. But yeah, I like his style of run. But I definitely agree. I think I agree with you guys' point that you guys made yesterday about Taylor. Kind of fitting the offense a little bit more. Like he did lead the league in yards that year, and I think that he could. Be a great fit for the offense.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor is nasty. He's a cheat code. I really won't.
Yeah, and I
really want Jonathan Taylor. I feel like he is perfect, and I feel like the Colts. Y'all said y'all quarterback Daniel Jones, so that means y'all are already throwing in the towel. So it's like go ahead and trade him. And Jonathan Taylor last year just got 1,400 yards. So please trade for him, but I would love to have Bijan, as to Angie's point, Bijan Robinson. I would love to have him. Do I think the Falcons are just going to trade him to us before they know how the season is going? No. And I think that he's all they have to look forward to over there. You know what I'm saying? Now, hopefully Penix takes off for them. But when you think of their superstars over there, Bijan is it. So I think the Falcons would probably be hard-pressed to move from Bijan. They probably are going to ask for a first, which we do have, but they're going to ask for a first and a player, and maybe even beyond that. But I'm pretty sure for right now, he's not on the market. We would have to offer them not only a first, but it would be like a first, a third, and a player or something. Something that they just couldn't refuse is what we would have to offer them to get them. So I feel like Taylor's more realistic, and for sure Alvin Kamara is more realistic. Now, I don't know if Alvin necessarily fits the scheme because we do more of a power zone. Alvin Kamara is more of we do like a power gap scheme. Alvin Kamara is more of a like a zone, inside zone, outside zone runner. So I don't know if he's going to fit our scheme, but I mean, he's Alvin Kamara. He's a vet. He can help, and he's better. He's better than what you got right now. That's for sure. He is better than what you got right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I'm like I said, I think I mentioned last week. I'm definitely just surprised that they decided to keep two veterans in the room. That you got when you're gonna get in free agency. So I think it's just not a waste of time, but you really didn't give it a competition in that room, and so you just ended up keeping the guys that you had, and even with Deuce outshining these guys in preseason, he's still
exactly.
Cut, so,
Deuce outshined it, but he gets cut with like just crazy stuff, like
right. So yeah, I mean, just kind of, I think we spoke earlier on the passing game. I love the confidence that we're seeing from, at least that I saw, in my opinion, from CD and George. I'm very excited to see that going on the field. I think them two working off each other, and also at the same time, the coordinators as well. Clayton Adams, Shadi mentioned the excitement of having Pickens this year, opposite side of CD. I think, of course, we know it's going to make a difference in the offense, being more explosive. But I just feel like the mentality of the team has changed as well, and I feel like this kind of uplifts some of these guys as well. And with Turpin, knowing that he got paid, of course, but he's going to get more of a chance to be more of an offensive, to be used more as an offensive weapon by just being a special teams guy. I think this is really going to be able to move our offense, and I think really just bring. I know he kept kind of kept the vanilla in the preseason, but I think Shiny, even Shiny, seeing how he's going to develop as a head coach with the season going forward, I'm excited to see how he comes out week one. And I know he's not going to show everything, but I'm excited to see what he's feel comfortable showing in week one with this, new.
Yeah, Shotty better show it all. That's what I'm saying. I mean, not all, but it's like Shotty, time to call plays. Like there's no more. Oh, I'm trying to hide plays. Like call the plays, Shotty. Like you hit plays from preseason. It's time to get the offensive going, and we need to start off. We need to start off hot. You know what I'm saying? Like. We can't afford for you to be calling some vanilla ass, easy ass game plan because Philadelphia will eat that shit right up for breakfast. So Shotty and Dak, y'all said y'all excited. Dak is excited. All right, well we better see because y'all said y'all was hiding plays. We better see these plays that you was hiding. It better be exciting because if it's not, we're coming for you. Specifically you, Shotty. Cause why would I show all my plays? Why would I do that? Okay, we gonna see. I think that but I do want to transition because this is about it's Philly week. It's F Philly, F Philly. You know what I'm saying? F them, and I'm bringing up their depth chart so we can kind of look at and see like key matchups.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at my notes to see what else. Key matchups, blah, blah, blah. We already talked about that. Yeah. So we'll look at, the key matchups that we'll be looking for and basically give our ways. I think, what's her name? Brandy asked, how confident do we feel like we can win this game and stuff like that. So we'll just transition into that and give our thoughts overall about Philly.
Did you also want to drop?
Oh yes, guys. So we're gonna go over our matchups and stuff like that. Things that we're gonna be looking out for. But then we also are going to drop the link in the chat. For y'all, if y'all want to talk to us and join in, Mickey just dropped it. You can, sis, you gotta pin it to the top, or tell one of your mods to pin it, so it's not getting lost in the chat. Okay. But we just dropped the link, so y'all can click that link if y'all want to come in and talk to us. We would love to hear y'all thoughts. We decided we would start doing this just at the end of our shows because we wanted to talk and connect with you guys. But it's no pressure. If y'all don't want to join in, we're fine with that. But we just thought we would offer it to y'all if y'all want to hop on and say some things. Of course, you can just have your camera off. You don't want to show your face and all that type of stuff. It's really just to talk to y'all. It's an easier way to do. It's easier to do it this way compared to like getting the phone services and doing all that extra stuff because you got to have a lot of moving parts for that. Yeah. But if we look well, first of all, sis, how do you think we should attack the Philadelphia defense? If we look at, let me scroll down. Sorry, because I'm looking at the offense. If we look at the Philadelphia defense, they're starting Moro Ajomo? That's interesting. So they're starting Moro Ajomo. That's their defensive tackle they just drafted last year. I did like him coming out of Texas, and I wanted him. But he's starting. That's interesting. Then they have Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, which we know Jalen Carter. He's a beast. Nolan Smith Jr. is their starting linebacker. Then Zach Bond, which he was their diamond in the rough player that was a special teamer that they turned into an all-pro. Then you have Jeremiah Trotter. What the hell happened? Oh, Nakobe Dean is out, so I guess he's fake. I'm like, what the hell happened to Dean? Okay, so they're starting Jeremiah Trotter over Jahad Campbell. I'll be honest and say I hated Jeremiah Trotter and Jahad Campbell's. It's on. You gotta go to Chris, you got to go to Mickey's channel because she's the host. So go to Mickey's channel, and the link will be posted there. But I hated Jeremiah Trotter and Jahai Campbell's film. So, and then they have Jalen Hunt, who, okay. Then you got Quinion Mitchell. He's cool, good. Reed Blankenship, Sidney Brown, which they seem not to be too confident in. And then they have Adoree Jackson and Cooper DeJean as their cornerback. So, how do you think, when you look at that depth chart, sis, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, my first initial thoughts on Philly's defense, I know they're decent in coverage. I don't follow their defense that closely, but I know that, Cooper DeJean and not Adoree Jackson, Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell definitely played very well last season. So I know that, I feel like we can attack them through the pass game, but I feel like, at least with this game, at least, starting this season out, I hope that I would like to see Shotty start off with the run game. I think, I don't know necessarily attacking the defensive line, but I feel like if we can kind of start off with the run game, number one, see how our run game looks, see how, Javonte Williams does look out there as far as our starting running backs. But I feel like if our offensive line is able to kind of get to the next level, which we've seen in preseason, I know that they can easily, hopefully kind of push off these defenders with run blocking. I feel like, if we can get a strong run game going, I feel like that'll kind of open up the pass. We can, try to get Jake Ferguson back into the fold as well. We talked a lot about the receivers. I mentioned George Pickens a lot, but I'm excited to see if we can get Jake Ferguson going with, as far as our tight ends. And I feel like if we can get him attacking in the middle of the field, I feel like that kind of open up things on the outside, with George Pickens or CeeDee Lamb. But I definitely want to see, because at least in my opinion, I like how we play in our division game, because I feel like, I know I kind of favor the tight end room a lot, but I like seeing Jake Ferguson go off, because I feel like that also opens up the wide receivers, and seeing him catch those passes across the middle, I just feel like that kind of shows his power. Not afraid to fight off defenders, but I just feel like that kind of helps our receivers out as well, because I think that offers more chances. Of course, to stretching the field, and also converting more first downs. I know if we do struggle, I feel like sometimes if we do get to our last resort, we can kind of convert some of those third downs.
Okay, so you think start off with the run game to open up the pass? Like, we need to start trying to run the ball. I think that I would agree with that. A lot of people are saying that this has to be a Dak game. I don't know why they're saying that. They're like, Dak's going to have to do 400, 500 yards. I'm like, if Dak has to put up 400 to 500 yards and throw 4 to 5 touchdowns for us to win, y'all are saying that the defense is going to be horrible, like bad, like real bad. That's what y'all say about our defense. Y'all say our defense is going to be ass. They are going to be running up and down the field on us. We can't stop nothing. If you're saying that Dak's going to have a 400-yard game and 4 touchdowns. So I don't know where people are getting that. When I look at this Philly defense, I just see a bunch of guys. I'm actually shocked that this is what Howie is rolling out. Now, I don't know how many people have carried on from the Super Bowl team. Now I think clearly they're missing for their Super Bowl team. They're missing Cox. They're missing Brandon Graham. They're missing, who else are they missing? Josh Sweat. So they're missing a lot of people that heavily contributed to that. They're missing Darius Slay. You mentioned Nakobe Dean. Howie was just picking up corners off the streets with like Jacorian Bennett. Well, no, he wasn't off the street. They traded for him, but Howie has just been throwing stuff at that secondary, from what I've seen. And then when you see the D line, I mean, Jalen Carter, but Moro Ojobo, Nolan Smith, Jeremiah Trotter. I'm looking at this defense, and I'm looking at that defense like food. I'm gonna just be honest. They gonna have to show me that they still that number one defense, because I'm not seeing it from this list here. I don't see no vets on this team. Like, where are the defensive vets? These are all third, second, and first year players or first year starters. So it's gonna be real interesting to see how it goes with Philly. But I think that what we need to do is now you don't want to get out of hand. So I do think that this is a game you need to play balanced. You know what I'm saying? Good matchups that you're looking at.
Yeah.
I think Chris spoke to it. Good matchup that you're looking at is like a Jordan Davis versus, I mean, not Jordan Davis, sorry, Jalen Carter versus the Tylers. Tyler Booker versus Jalen Carter. Tyler Smith versus Jalen Carter. You know what I'm saying? That is who you really want to stop. Because let's be honest, Jalen Carter can wreck your football game. He can wreck your football game if you are not blocking him. So, but I definitely think you want to start off, you want to be able to run the ball. But I do think that this is a game where you could really get a lot of big plays. Because when I look at that secondary,
okay,
I like my chances of CeeDee Lamb versus Quinyon Mitchell, Adoree Jackson, and Cooper DeJean. I actually love my chances.
Yeah.
I actually love my chances of Adoree Jackson versus George Pickens. I love my chances with that. Now, granted, this is a vision defense, and so they do play zone. They're very basic defense. They're going to play zone. They're going to sit back in zone, and they're going to rush 4. You know what I'm saying? This is how they play. So it may be a little bit difficult. If they're going to play super sound, it will be difficult because of that zone defense. But when you look at my guys versus their guys, I'm feeling like our offense way surpasses their defense. That's what we can look. I think I have the Cowboys depth chart over here. And is Chris in the show or he went out?
Yeah, I added him to the stream. You there, Chris?
I think. Oh, there he goes. Oh, hey, Chris. Chris, did you have any thoughts? Since she added you in now, did you have any thoughts about the matchups? I don't know if you can hear us. Uh-oh. I can't hear him. I don't know if he's talking or not. Do you see his audio? It's usually on the side. Is his audio muted? He may be having some technical difficulties because I see his picture keep going in and out.
Yeah.
Because it keep popping up and then it'll go away. You there, Chris? If not, I'm not sure what's going on. But hopefully, Chris, if you can hear us, just start talking, and so we'll know, that you're in the show. But either way, oh, here you go. Because I was like, what was I trying to do? Share this tab. But yeah, when I look at now, we already talked about the running backs, but when I look at our wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Turp, now Tolbert, even so, I mean, we be on Tolbert's head, but Tolbert did have a touchdown on Quinyon Mitchell's head last year. I wish I had the highlight. I don't have it, but he did score a touchdown on his head last year. So when I look at those guys, and then I look at our offensive line, like our offensive line is what I really think will be a strength for us this year. As I said, Shotty said our team will be ran through our offensive line, and when I look at that, I see strength. Even with Tyler Guyton, because he made great strides, and I'm hoping if they're gonna play him, I'm hoping that he's ready. Because things could get a little bit leaky, but I don't see someone like a Nolan Smith or a Jalen Hunt like really tearing up Tyler Guyton and Terrence Steele. Like these guys were going against Bosa and Watt and Garrett and Will Anderson. I mean Hutchinson. I mean these guys were going against killers last year. I'm sorry, but Jalen Hunt and what's his name? Nolan Smith, y'all gonna have to show me. Y'all gonna have to show me that y'all are gonna dominate those guys. But go ahead.
Yeah, even if Nate Thomas is out there,
right? Exactly, sis.
Cleveland. Clayton Adams expressing his confidence in him. He said he speaks about just, even him just having even the small opportunity that he did have. He said he goes out there and plays out there like he's been playing for a while, and just like you said, he has no problem with him being able to being plug and play in that manner. I think kind of gives the confidence to the line that they no matter whether it's him or Guyton, and that's even confidence too. I think which was a couple hours ago I saw Archer tweet about Guyton and Diggs possibly, playing in the game
which
tomorrow.
is huge.
So
that is huge. That's huge news for us. Because
I didn't.
Right.
I
was the one who was. Everybody was like, "Oh, they're gonna play. They're gonna play." I was the main one. Like, they're not playing. I was the main one saying they're not going to play. Because I just thought, it's too early. They're gonna want to slow cook them. But no, it looks like they took them off the injury report. So they will be playing. Now, I don't know if they're going to be on snap count or whatever. But, those guys will be playing. And so that's huge. That is huge for us because it was going to get rocky. I'm not going to lie. Y'all thought I was going to sit here and lie? It was going to get rocky when you get to that cornerback room if Diggs wasn't in there. Because we've got to remember, yes, Philly has the real MVP, Saquon, who should have been MVP last year, but he's a running back, so they didn't give it to him. But we know Philly got Saquon. I'm not worried about Saquon. I don't know why. It's just Saquon never do nothing to us. You know what I'm saying? Even when he does do something, it's like, I'm not worried about Saquon.
Right. Even last year, we still contained him last season. Even last season.
Exactly. When we had nothing. And even the last game where he just really squeezed out that 100-yard game or whatever, it's like I'm not worried because we played against you with backup, so I'm not worried about Saquon. And now, I mean, we've got, when you look at our defensive line, we've got the personnel to stop Saquon. Kenny Clark, Mozzie Smith as a backup, Oso Digizua, Solomon Thomas, Sam Williams, Dante Fowler. Like, I'm not really worried. I believe those guys, and then our linebackers, Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray. Damone Clark,
our second level this season is going to be. I think they're going to go off. I mean, you talked about earlier Leofau, like you mentioned, and bringing in veterans like Murray and Sanborn.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Our linebackers,
Damone kind of having to rebirth his own.
Right, and we talked about this. I showed y'all. If y'all go back and look at my clips from training camp, the linebackers are doing totally different stuff. I mean, Eberflus, and he puts all his focus. Y'all know he's the linebacker guru. They call him. He's a linebacker guru. So I think the linebackers are going to be playing with their hair on fire tomorrow. Like, straight up. So I'm not worried about Saquon. But then
I think we may be able to keep him under. I know we always keep him on 100 yards, but I think we'll be able to contain him to either 75 or under or 50 or under. Just because that second level, I think they're able to, just the way they kind of fit their gaps. No, I think the way they attack their gaps now, and they're all ball hawks, kind of in their own way. Like, we know Damone Clark was kind of able to keep the ball out, but just the way that Maris is playing, and also like I mentioned the veterans earlier with Murray and Sanborn. I know Murray's probably coming on a little bit more, but Sanborn, I mean, he plays smart. He was able to get from sideline to sideline. So even if our line is slowly and steadily coming along, kind of ramped up, in our defense. But I think even if somehow, some way the defensive line has problems, that second level will be able to play contain. It's just, I think we'll be able to kind of seal. If we're able to seal the edges, I think they had that middle there. They're able to contain the edges. I think we'll contain the run game. I think it'll be a huge positive for tomorrow.
So you think we'll be able to hold Saquon, let's say under 70? Is your prediction that we'll hold them under 70?
Yeah. I'll say for Saquon in particular. Yeah. I'll say for Saquon in particular, I'll say 75 and under. But for their run game in total, for Eagles run game in total, I'll say under 100 yards. Under
100. Okay. I agree. I like that. What do y'all think, chat? Y'all let us know in the chat. What do y'all think we can hold Saquon to? Or what do y'all predict? Because maybe y'all think Saquon gonna go off. So let us know, chat. Let us know in the comments. What do y'all think Saquon is gonna do? Do y'all think he's gonna go off? Do y'all think we're gonna hold him under 75? Or do y'all think he's gonna have like a 200-yard game? Let us know. And let us know why. And you can hit the link if you care to come in and talk to us about it. Please hit the link. we would love to chop it up with y'all guys if y'all can come in. I wish Chris could figure out what's going on with his thing, but it's okay. I mean, we're gonna try to be doing this every show now, so it's not no big deal. But when we have our cornerbacks, now I feel better because I'm like, listen, our cornerbacks, AJ Brown and Smitty versus Kyer Elam, and who else were we gonna have over there? Bro, we don't got no corners, but Kyer Elam and Bland, we already saw last year. And shout out to Bland for getting paid. I said we had to pay Bland because, I mean, he the only healthy corner on your roster, and the relationship with you and Diggs may be over, so you had to pay him. But we already saw, like, Bland is a nickel corner that can play outside. But we saw the matchup between him and Smitty, straight burn. You know, he got burned. So it's like, if it was just going to be Bland and Kyer Elam and then whoever the hell else we was going to throw into the slide, I mean, we need to get more corner depth. Because right now, you got CJ Goodwin.
And listen, right behind Elam. How did he ever?
CJ Goodwin
hardly ever even see his name.
He does not play defense. So he has been a career special teamer. So, and now you got these young guys like Reddy Stewart and what's his name? Triquez Bridges or Triquez or whatever Bridges. We just brought those guys on. I'm not expecting them to do nothing until a few weeks where they can actually get acclimated. So we need to add more corners. But now that we got Diggs, Bland, and Elam, I feel confident in that. I feel confident in that for sure. Diggs, Bland, and Elam. But if it was just gonna be Elam and Bland and then whoever the hell else, I was not going to feel confident at all in that situation.
And that's I'm glad you made that point. I mean, it kind of goes back to your point earlier. It's just like whether if Diggs is going to be on the snap count, you know, or if he's going to be in the rotation.
Right.
I wouldn't be mad at him being in the rotation. But I'm hoping it's not a situation where the Jones feel the need to put pressure on him because he was able to come back early. I don't put pressure on the player because he, I guess out and loud, he was right and you guys are wrong. But don't put that pressure on him and use it against him and say, you came back early. Can you play the full game? Like, no, let him come back slowly and surely. So that way by the season's end or even mid-season, he can give you his best and hopefully truly get back to Trayvon Diggs. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that the Joneses kind of give him that leeway and kind of just work him in. Slowly but surely. So hopefully it may be unfortunate that we may have to start off with a CJ Goodwin somehow, some way, or maybe working.
No way. CJ Goodwin.
Trying to figure out
he's not gonna be on the field, sis. Don't you worry about it. He said it keeps kicking him out because he's on the mobile. But no, you should be able to join. Yeah, you should be able to join though from your phone.
Yeah, it gives an option of keeping the audio, but even try hopping on again and just like Sis said, just start talking and see if we can at least hear you.
Yeah, because it's like it's joining you in the show, but it's just not. I don't know why we can't hear your audio. Yeah. Maybe there's some settings that we'll have to fix behind the scenes. Yeah. But I mean, when you send a link out, it should just be able to join like normal because that's just our normal guest link. So we'll see. Hopefully you can join in, Chris, but if not, don't worry about it. We'll like we said, talk. Chris, can we talk if you can hear us? Yeah, that's the only thing, we can't hear him. Maybe how about this? How about I stop sharing my screen and then Chris try to come in now, because maybe it was just doing that because we had I was sharing my screen or something. I don't know. Sorry guys, we're trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because it really should just be as easy as click the link, join in. I don't so I don't know why it would be giving issues. Yeah, I have no damn idea. But it's okay. Well,
yeah, we're definitely gonna get it figured out because it was good to see you be able to hop on, so we know that it's possible for it to be done.
We just have to figure out what's going on. But yeah, guys, and so I guess right now we can kind of give like our little bit of like final prediction. If you want to do a score prediction, you don't have to, but we just do and y'all can let us know in the chat. Let us know y'all score prediction. If you're watching back on the playback, let us know your score prediction and why. We would love to see it in the comments. Please make sure y'all are you like the stream, you share. and you subscribe to our YouTube channels, please subscribe to our YouTube channels. But I feel like Cowboys. Oh, there go Chris. Chris, you there? Still can't hear.
Yeah, I'm not, because even you know how you have the option to turn up the audio up or down. It's not even giving me that option. Like his camera pops up, but it doesn't give me the option to turn up his volume.
Oh, so it must be something, Chris, on your end with your audio. It's got to be.
Yeah.
So maybe try to figure that out. But
we're gonna do another trial run.
Yeah, we're gonna do one next week. Don't worry, Chris. But I will say this show is called Let's answer the question. Can we play spoiler? The Eagles will be hanging their glorious banner. They won the Super Bowl 2024 champions. It's going to be great. They're going to have the fireworks. It's going to be amazing. Right. They're going to have speeches and everything. So, but they chose us. They said, we want Dallas week 1. Well, they didn't do it, but I mean, the NFL made it happen. They said Dallas week 1. Now, if we go on history, y'all don't do shit versus Dak Prescott. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all don't do shit. Now, could y'all do shit tomorrow? Absolutely.
Right.
But if history says Dak is 9-3 against y'all, is that 9-3, 9-4? One of those things. So, I'm going to predict that we're going to play spoiler alert. Y'all might say, oh, you a homer. Y'all not going to win. Y'all don't got Micah. Whatever. I think we're going to actually play spoiler alert because I think the guys are motivated. I saw even in CD's interview, he said, yeah, a lot of people are sleeping on us, but it's fine. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's how the players feel. He said with Dak has a whole different level of swag this year that he has not seen. So I do believe it was like Dak's swag. He said he just has a different swag to him. Like it's different. Like Dak is different. So all I'm gonna say is
I'm glad you make that point. I'm so glad. I'm just glad it just seemed like everyone's kind of leveled up this season. Like everyone's reaching a new level in their progression, either in their progression or their maturation. Like even CD, we see him mature. We're seeing our young leaders come up. Tyler Smith, so Tyler Guyton, he's made strides. He's trying to become, get under Tyler Smith's wing. We've seen these younger guys trying to step up. Donovan Ezra, he said he wants to be able to give his all, and he's gonna be able to kind of step up on his own. So it's just seeing these young guys kind of even guys as as veteran as Dak, and progressing. Even like you said, having all his swag on this season. It's gonna be interesting to see how this team operates.
Right. So I'm not gonna do a score prediction because I just don't have a score prediction right now. But I will say I do think Dallas play spoiler. And also, if you know your team, when we are underdogs, is when we show up. When we're favored, we struggle to show up. But when we are underdogs and our backs against the wall and everybody's saying we're going to lose, that's usually when we win. So I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to play spoiler alert. By the end of the night, Jalen Hurts is going to be looking like he did in the Super Bowl when he fumbled it away. He going to be he going to be looking at us in the rearview mirror as we celebrate at the link on their field on banner night. So that's my prediction. Y'all let us know down in the comments what's your prediction. If you got a score prediction, let us know in the comments or let us know here in the live chat. But sis, what's your thoughts, your final thoughts on the game?
My final thoughts on the game is I want to see how our run game looks and if Javonte Williams did indeed earn that running back one position. I mean, they're still talking him up. I didn't get a chance to watch his personal interview, but I saw that he did, a small short interview. I want to watch that, real quick before tomorrow because I know I saw, like I said, I saw your clips, sis, and I saw other clips from practice and seeing Javonte Williams, but I still want to be not convinced, but I want a strong standout from our running back because if we need be, mid-season we definitely need to trade for that piece. But I want to see if Shadi can establish the run in this game. I want to see just how strong that running back room is, and if if we can establish it against a division rival, against anybody, against Philly, that's supposed to be the number one defense last season. So I want to see if number one we can do that. And also, I would like to see a little bit of pass game. I'm not going to lie, like I mentioned earlier, I'm definitely excited to see CD and Pickens, go off like everyone's been saying, and like they mentioned in some of the interviews, like having another piece opposite CD has been, outside of a run game, outside of a run defense, that's really been what Cowboys fans, at least for me, have been thirsty for. Just another piece to see go off against opposite CD. And also Turk, too. I'm glad Turk is going to get some opportunities, too. That's my guy for the past few years. But I'm very excited to see finally, hopefully, it's going to be one of the strongest wide receiver duos in the NFL this season. CD Lamb and Pickens going off. So I'm definitely excited to see those two. And as I mentioned earlier on prediction with the run game, I think we'll be able to hold Philly under 100 yards total. Whether it's Jalen Hurts, whether it's Saquon, whether it's the backup, whoever. I'm hoping that our run defense and our run game can show up week 1 versus Philly.
I agree. That would be a huge sigh of relief. If Javonte Williams goes off, I want him to go off. Because, we're gonna be doing this campaign. So, but if you want us to shut up, if you're watching this, Javonte, if you want us to shut up, go off tomorrow. We'll shut up. But until then, straight for RB1. Do you have any prediction on what you think the game is going to go? Do you think we win? Do you think we lose? Or are you like, I don't know?
Right now, with it being week 1, my gut right now is saying I don't know. But of course, my heart is saying, Cowboys all the way. Like, what I'm saying? This is my final thought. So one thing I did kind of get from, not one thing, but one of the things I did get from CD's interview was him saying that him watching the band is going to give him motivation. So I want my team, the Cowboys, and at least for me as a Cowboys fan watching, I want to see the team get motivation from watching that opening ceremony. Like you said, them watching the band come down, the fireworks. Yeah, I want not them all on the field, but if y'all can be in the tunnel, if y'all can even be within ear range, if y'all can hear the fireworks going off, I want the entire team to get some kind of motivation, even to the coaching staff. Shotty, if you got to be like, you know what? Like you said, I ain't got to show the whole bag, but let me go ahead and start this drive off going to CD. Let me go to Pickens next. Let me go to Turpin next. Just let you guys know, number one, what we're working with. And then, we can kind of pull back, get settled into the run game, take it slowly but surely. But I want to see fireworks from our side, but at the same time, I want to see, like you mentioned earlier, balance. I want to see run game, run defense, but also a little bit of fireworks too. So I think, like you mentioned earlier, balance is a good word for that. Not just play calling and not just the players play, but I want it to all be balanced. I want it to all be balanced, and I want to see if our team can truly change their identity. Yes. Watch everything from McCarthy. Watch everything from previous play calling. Watch miss game management. All that. I want Shai to have his own identity, and I want this new Cowboys team to like people saying the new Shai era. I want his stamp to be stamped from week 1 going forward.
Facts. I agree with that, sis. And Brenda, you said 30-28, so she thinks it's going to be a high-scoring game because that's pretty high-scoring. Okay, Brenda, 30-28. Chris, you said one last time. For some reason, my audio was blocked. Are you going to try to join in? Because we'll talk to you for a few minutes if you're going to try to join in, Chris. If not, we'll just try to do it later. We'll do it, next week. We're gonna hop off of here because I think we pretty much done. Yeah. Okay, he said great conversation. Okay, maybe let us know. You gonna try to join in or you we should close out. He just posting scores, but I think it's delayed. He said score 24-27. Okay. Well, he said yeah. Okay. Is he trying to join in? You see?
Yeah. We could try again next week.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do next week then. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to be posting the link at the end of the show. Let y'all interact. Oh, he tried to jump in.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, hey, what's up, Chris? Woo, we can hear you.
Yes. Hey, man, let's go. Hey, man, we at the goal line. We were at the goal line. We just got in the end zone.
We got in. All right, what's up, Chris? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
We doing good. Glad to hear from you. What's up?
Oh, good. Yeah, like I love watching y'all. Like every time I come here, it's always good vibes and good talks. But yeah, I'm
Thanks.
just so excited for tomorrow. I
Uh-huh.
feel like we've had a busy, annoying, fatigued off season. I'm just ready to get to some ball. Like, I really am.
Right.
All right, I'm with you 100%. This offseason has been annoying. He cut out again, but I agree with him.
Yeah.
I agree. I think this offseason has been annoying. I think that there's just been so many twists and turns. I feel like our emotions have just been. Okay, he back. Okay, Chris, did you have more?
I just had just a little bit more because I know y'all finna end. My
Okay.
question to both of y'all, like,
Oh my God, why does it keep cutting him out?
Connection, man, because this is so fire. Like, it's the first time we've done this, and I'm glad to be able to
Was
get
the
somebody-
restream monsters had him or what?
Right.
Restream, can y'all let the man talk? Damn.
Please,
And
please,
Top Church
man.
said 4117. Golly.
In their house, I would love that. In Philly's house, I would love that. Just
That's
what do
crazy.
you call it?
It's a
BTA.
crazy prediction time. Okay, Chris, what's your question?
I don't know why I keep doing it, but my question is, who do y'all think should guard AJ Brown, and who do y'all think y'all should guard Devontae Smith before they kick me out again?
Okay. That's a good question.
Yeah,
AJ Brown.
I mean, I don't know. With Diggs possibly being on the snap count, I mean, I'm just be honest with you. I would just go ahead and put Elam on him just to start the game off and see how he does.
Putting Elam. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm putting Elam on Brown.
Correct.
And I'm putting, because I like that matchup better. I like the Diggs in AJ Brown matchup, but I think for week 1 and with Diggs probably gonna be on a pitch count and stuff, I'm thinking I'm putting Elam on Brown.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put Diggs on Smitty and have it. But if Smitty's in the slot, then Bland will be guarding him. Bland can guard him in the slot. It just when it comes to long speed, vertical, that is not where Bland can guard him. So that's what I think. And I think that we're gonna have in the slot. I keep saying this, but I think it's gonna be Wanya, y'all.
I was just thinking. I wonder who's gonna.
I don't think it's gonna be like what I'm saying is Bland will be in a slot. But if Diggs is on a snap count, they're gonna push Bland to the outside. So I think if they push Bland to the outside, I think Wanya is gonna play that slot for us. Now Wanya got big this offseason. Yeah. I don't know if he is still twitchy and stuff like he used to, so I'm praying that he is. But I think that he's probably the best chance we have in the slot because these new corners, I don't know them or trust them. And
I feel like he still has that closing speed. Like I think I know it was just the top of preseason. I know he only played a few. I know he only played a few snaps, but I like his energy out there. I think he would do wonders around the line of scrimmage.
I want Wanya to play slot because I want him to showcase what we've been seeing for these past couple of years. So, I think
I know he's a safety, and we're trying to get him more snaps. So, I mean, that's another way for him to get on the field.
Right, and I think we're also going to. Bland can guard AJ Brown too.
Yeah.
It's just Smitty long speed. You know what I'm saying? On the outside, it's gonna have to be if Smitty goes on the outside, it's gonna have to be Diggs or Elam.
Yeah.
We already know how that's gonna happen with Blade, but I do think they'll elevate a corner. So they're probably gonna elevate Keemon Hall tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised they brought him back to the practice squad because even Shawty was like, if you have a younger guy and an older guy who's essentially the same, you go with the younger guy. And they brought back Zion, so I was just surprised that they kept Keemon. Especially if you plan on bringing back Zion, that way you can elevate Zion to play the slot. But I mean, I understand because I mean it's great to have that. I'm not mad.
I think either one. They're going to elevate either Zion or Elam. I mean Zion or Keemon or both to help out with that slot position. That's what I think they're going to do. Just in case things go to awry with one. They're going to have to elevate corners because you don't even have the depth now. So if anybody gets injured, you're screwed. Is that why Izzy not here because of Thomas? I guess so, sis. I don't know. Izzy.
I don't know. Why
Clearly, what we see and what the coaches see is totally different because 3 coordinators did not want to give him a real chance.
Right.
I don't know why. So that's why I said what we see versus what the coaching staff sees is just different when it comes to him. What's up, Stephen White, coming in at the end? But yeah, I think that's a good way to, wrap up the show. As I already said, please make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Since you can put the banner up so they can see our cash apps and stuff, please donate to our cash apps. Please donate to our cash apps. Angie, we got your cash app at the beginning of the show. I don't think I got any more cash apps, but if I did, thank you so much for donating. We really appreciate y'all so much. And are y'all ready or what? You know what I'm saying? We got to be ready. Tomorrow, game day. I'm taking off of work. I closed my practice. So,
I am dead, sis. Yo, I'm telling y'all, chat. I'm telling my girl sis off camera before we hop on that. I'm telling them at work, like, look, I'm at to leave early. I know you got me working 8 hours, but I'm gonna leave early to make sure I leave by 7. She closed her whole bit. I know that's right. Shut it down. Business flow. I know that's right.
Yeah, I closed it down. This opening week, it's like a holiday for us. You know what I'm saying? It's our first game day, so I want to make sure that I'm available, locked in, and I'm getting hype all day. You know what I'm saying? Leading up to the game. So really excited. Yep. Get a little drink,
I'm get a little hour to pregame. I'm gonna use that hour wisely.
We're gonna be pre-gaming up. It's like, let's just have fun, guys, because this is football. Yes, you know what I'm saying? It's football. Yes. And we have a whole season to play. I know Jerry sucks. I know losing Micah Parsons sucks, but we still have a great team. And I expect great things from this team.
Yeah.
I do expect this team to do some really, really good things this year. And if we don't, it's going to be hell to pay. But anyway, thank y'all so much. Right. Yeah, catch it on the rewind, Steven, and leave us a comment for sure. Everybody watch on the playback, leave us a comment. Thank y'all so much. And we will see y'all by next week.
Woo, we would have played game
time. We would have played our first game, so it'll be interesting to do the game recap and all that stuff. But y'all have a great weekend. We really appreciate y'all so much.
Yes, love you guys. Thank you for your time, sis. Appreciate you so much, and love your last 2 shows. You've been on fire as well, man. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you,
later,
sis. See
you
later,
sis. Y'all.
Okay, see y'all later.